This episode is proudly sponsored by Amber L. Contact us today to learn how you can be a part of the vibration experience. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Vibration, where we empower individuals to speak their distinct truths, passions, and personal message on a global online stage. I'm your host, Michelle McDonald, passionate foodie, author, and entrepreneur. And tonight is extremely special as we are closing out the second season of Vibration with this incredible topic of reading literacy for children. Tonight's topic under that theme is loving you and the beauty within with Black Girl Magic. Our guest this evening is Zahra Bryan.
Hi.
Hi. Who is 10 years old. We have a child author with us tonight. She is a magical little Black girl who wants to encourage other magical Black girls around the world to see the beauty within themselves and to share that magic with the world. For as long as she could remember, she has wanted to be an author and always enjoyed reading. Her favorite color is purple, and she is also an environmentalist. She believes that we all must do our part to help our community and save the environment we live in, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. Zahra, welcome to the stage tonight.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
The pleasure is absolutely mine. I am so excited to have you on here. You are such an inspiration for everything that you're doing. So, of course, we have to know what motivated you to be a writer and wanting to share your story.
Well, for as long as I can remember, I've wanted to be a writer. I was always typing on an iPad or a laptop, but really what influenced me to share my story is how I felt when I got bullied and me thinking, do I want other people feeling this way? And I think that is what really inspired my story, and it really inspired me to write about my times and how I overcame those times. And I feel like that was something that was very important to me to publish and to get out there.
That is so inspiring. You turned your story around and you made it something so positive that other little girls can connect with and feel better about themselves. And I know that your story is doing a lot for a lot of little girls around the world. So we also want to know your book, Black Girl Magic, a book about loving yourself just the way you are. In connection with the story that you just shared, was there anything else about this book and this story that made you want to write it?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, not just the way I felt, the drive in me. I mean, if it wasn't a book about Black Girl Magic and my success, it would have been about something else. I had just found the perfect topic that I wanted to share with the world. Because like I said, I had always wanted to be a writer. And even without Black Girl Magic, I still would have really wanted to pursue writing and being published. It's just my experience and everything that happened and made me feel like how I felt was not right. And it gave me the perfect topic to write about, how I felt, how I needed to improve, and how I don't want anyone else to feel like how I felt. But really, it came from the drive in me that wants to write.
That's beautiful. And it also sounds like we might be getting another story from you. Is that correct? Maybe?
Yeah, I actually am working on another story.
Ooh, awesome. So what is one thing that you would tell a young Black girl who doesn't feel confident in herself?
Okay, well, I have many things, but out of the just one, I would tell her to believe in herself. And no matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone thinks, it's about her and what she feels deep down inside.
Yes. Oh, that is so touching. And I have a goddaughter, she's so young. She has a smile that lights up the room. And I can't imagine anything happening to her and her feeling like she couldn't be herself, like she couldn't share her smile with the world. And so your story and everything that you shared so far, I know is really going to encourage her to remember who she is and to love everything about herself.
Yes. And I especially feel like my book is very helpful to people who are feeling a sudden of doubt in themselves, because it's just a pick me up or a reminder that they don't have to feel that way and they are perfect just the way they are.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Representation is being able to see and connect with persons who look or act just like you. Communities also help to provide support. Do you feel it's important to have representation when it comes to books and believing in yourself in the Black community?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, a big part of my book was also me not really seeing any Black female representatives in the books who are really the hero and make an outstand and who overcome. So it was also really important to me that if it's not in a book, that I have someone to look up to, even if it's in a movie even, or a book, a comic book, just some representative that looks like you to look up to when you're feeling alone or when you think you're alone. Someone like that who you can look to and say, "Oh, this girl is like me and I can be a hero too."
Yeah, we can all be heroes, little
Yeah.
girl heroes running around with our superpowers. And one of the ones that all of you would share is like confidence and love and beauty.
Yes, and another thing, even if you don't think you're a hero, the little things you do to make the world a better place, those are the real heroes and those are the people that matter.
Yes, I really love that you mentioned that because it's a reminder that no matter your age, no matter how small you think you might be, like everything that you do, every little act helps
Yes,
someone.
yes, even if it's just picking up trash off the streets, that's at least one less trash to pick up and to go into our air.
Yes, very true. I have an environmental background, so I'm like really connected to things about like sustainability and protecting our environment. So that is a really, really great point that you mentioned for children to remember. Just pick up the trash, do like one little thing, and you're doing a lot.
Yeah.
And I also like that you mentioned that it really is important to have representation. And I think it even goes with sometimes dolls. I see it all the time. The little girls, if they see a doll that looks like them, they get excited and they're like, oh, look at me. And, I can dress up and I can do my hair just like the doll. And so really having a book just as yours, being able to flip through the pages is important.
Yes, and I remember when I was about 8 and I loved American Girl dolls at the time, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see any ones of me. But then one time when I went in, I saw this girl that looked exactly like me and how she made a difference, and that really made me look up to her because I saw very few of those back
Mm-hmm.
when I was 8.
Yes, so, so true. So I'm happy that you were able to find that doll and she brought you the inspiration. And so now so many girls can look at your book, look at that character and be like, that's me. I'm special. I'm loved. I believe in myself. That's incredible.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Positivity and confidence are two words that are very much connected to this book. Do you believe that every young Black girl should have these qualities?
Yes, I think that everyone should be positive because even if you're negative about yourself, it's probably not true because we all have doubts at sometimes about ourselves. I mean, I know I did when I was getting bullied, but you need to remember to try and stay positive. Affirmations were a really big part of my book, and they're also a really big part of my life because I try and remind myself, no matter how many doubts I have or how many times I fall down, I always remember that what happens, it doesn't matter as long as you still believe in yourself.
Very true. And that's a good reminder because, sometimes our days don't go as we like. Sometimes, we're in school and we do a test and we may feel like, oh, I didn't get 100, or I didn't get to use my favorite book, my favorite pen, and we just kind of feel like, nothing's going right and we lose confidence. So yes. I really like that. Go ahead.
Yes. And just because you fail a test or you don't get a part, that doesn't mean you're any less smart or any less talented. It just means that you need to work harder, or maybe that part wasn't for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're so wise, Zahra.
Thank you.
You're welcome to be able to share that. I know a lot of kids wouldn't know that as yet, so I'm so happy that the children in the audience watching this episode tonight can hear that from you and gain that piece of wisdom that what, it's okay. It's okay. I'm still smart. I'm still beautiful. I'm still magical, no matter what happens.
Yes.
So what would you say Black girl magic means to you?
Well, Black girl magic means a lot of things because, like I said before, there weren't much female Black representatives. So for me, I think it means confidence because I wasn't confident in my skin. I wasn't confident in the way I look. But when I look in the mirror now these days, I have Black girl magic.
Ooh. Nice, nice. Yes, I know that's something that young girls will definitely get from your book, even just from this conversation, remembering that they can stand in front of the mirror and feel proud of who they are and where they are in their life.
Yes.
Reading incites imagination, as you know, and can connect to many new possibilities. Do you think it's important for kids to read, and why?
Me personally, I definitely think it's important for kids to read because not only does it open up a new world, a new set of imaginations, it can be some really important things like my book on self-esteem and many others. It can be nonfiction, fiction, mystery, but I feel like children deserve to have that new door open, something they can enjoy, something they can read at home. It's even a family activity with read-alouds, but I think it's very important for kids to read.
Absolutely. And what's your favorite type of book?
Me personally, I definitely like mystery, not knowing what happens next with all the twists and turns. One of my especially favorite books is Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. It is great with all the twists and the turns, and they even made it into a movie, which I enjoyed watching, but I think mysteries for me.
Okay. Yes, that's very, very good point about reading. I remember when I was a kid, I really loved like getting lost in books. The characters, the way that the writer described them, I felt like I could see it right before my eyes, and I just wanted to learn more. And it was just so fun and fascinating. And I was really thankful to be able to do that at my age. And of course, for someone like you took your love for reading and writing and created your own book. So, you went even
Yeah.
further.
Yeah. I feel like reading and writing have always been a big part of my life. I've been reading and writing since I was little, and I still read and write to this day. I have a book cubby just for books and another one back there. So reading is very important to me.
Yes, so, so good. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. And it is very important for kids to do as well. So I know that the kids in our audience are taking notes. You can always find a book that you like. It doesn't have to just be one type. And, once you find that right book, you get into it. And just like that, you love reading.
Yes, and I also wanted to say thank you to Miss Smith for the great job. Your book is magical. Every one of those comments, it really brightens up my day.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Smith. Zahra, we have loved this conversation, love the fact that you have taken your story, created this beautiful book for so many girls to connect with, and we're excited for more. So can you let us know what's next for you and how can we support you?
Well, some of you already know that I have a guided journal coming out actually in the new year, probably February 2023, around that time. And like I said before, I'm working on a new book. It's gonna be called Don't Wait. It's about not waiting for your dreams and just really going after them.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And you know what? That's a good point because kids have dreams too. We don't think about it, but they really, really do. And they're huge.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was 5, I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a ballet dancer and all those amazing stuff. And this Don't Wait for a Book is going to be really how you can push forward.
Yeah. So I mean that way you can, if you think about something and you really like it, it means let's do something about it, right? Let's not just think about it. Let's do something and kind of like make it real.
Yeah.
I remember one of the things that I really liked was ballet. So I used to watch gymnastics on like the Olympics all the time. And so I try to do like my little curtsy and my little plie, all of these things. And, I was just, as a kid, so excited about it. So when you mentioned some of your dreams, that like really connected with me.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not that of a shocker because, like I've been saying before, I've always loved writing, but I don't think it was really until up to age 8 when I actually started pursuing publishing. But don't get me wrong, I've always wanted to be published, but I never really went for it. And I think I just started like actually doing the work and trying to move forward when I was 8 because I've been writing a lot of stories since then. But I think I've actually been really serious about, okay, I need to get one of these published when I was 8. And thank God I did.
Yeah. Absolutely, because now we have your book, your first book, your gift to the world that is doing so much to help young Black girls. It is, beautiful, it's breathtaking. So we thank you for having that courage to write your story, follow your dream, and create it into something that can be shared. So, without your courage and your dream, we wouldn't have this book. And that says a lot.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
You're very welcome. We appreciate so much about your book, Black Girl Magic, a book about loving yourself just the way you are, which is such an inspiration. Through your talents and encouragement, other young Black girls can see themselves as beautiful, confident, and valued. They can stand in the mirror and say that I am proud and I am magical. You have done an incredible thing with this book, Zahra. For everyone in the audience to show your support or purchase a copy of her book, you can visit her website at Zahra Bryan, that's ZahraBryan.com, or email her to stay updated, and also follow her on Facebook and Instagram. As a reminder, this episode is proudly sponsored by Amber L. A special thank you to our audience for watching, for being a part of this very, very special episode, closing out season 2 with our amazing guest, who I was so excited and enthusiastic to have tonight. She has incredible courage and being so supportive of all of the other young Black girls around the world through everything that she's done. We celebrate you and we thank you, Zahra.
Yes, and I'm sorry, I just wanted to give a special shout out to the people that have supported me along my journey, which is my mom, my grandma. My grandma was a huge help for me because I always felt I could talk to her even though I had no real female representative in books. So thank you for supporting me in this long journey of publishing my book and getting the word out there.
Excellent. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Grammy. Grammys are so special. I have a very special place in my heart for my grandmother, so I totally understand. They're so supportive. So thank you to everyone who has continued to support Zahra, who has been there from the beginning. She appreciates you. She admires you. And we thank you also for being able to build her up and encourage her to continue to follow her dreams, which of course we'll learn more of in her next book. So we can't wait for that as well. So I invite you all to follow me for more show updates and join me next week, next season, for another episode of Vibration, where we raise your frequency and amplify your truth. Good night, everyone.